Are you ready for some draggable content in Great League? Well, here it is if you are, because today's content is submitted by Mustas Golem, who is an amazing Greek trainer and is submitting some crazy battles. So overall, we're just gonna keep roaming with our Feraligatr, with our Clefable, but mainly Dragapult will always remain as our closer. So over here we decide to block because we can push them to their limits with a regular Feraligatr. Sometimes I feel like Shadow Feraligatr does way more damage, but this trainer is gonna use the regular one, so let's see how this is gonna go. At this point we can easily switch out on our Clefable, just a pure reminder that this season the switch timer is much faster, and in the process we can easily tank the move so that we can push them to their limits with another Swift or a Moonblast. Okay, I was not expecting this. So much damage on this Pokemon, almost able to outspeed here to the Swift, and that is gonna be a very close one. It doesn't matter though, because Dragapult with Astonis now joins the party. This Pokemon is really no joke at all, and even though they have a Licky here, perhaps we can still emerge victorious if they are not careful. Now they switch out to catch the move on the Clodsharp, pretty nice catch if I may say, and at this point we can easily charge up a little bit extra to reach yet to another Hydro. They have the Earthquake though, which can easily finish us off. The battle is definitely not over yet, and I'm not sure if we can win this battle, but as you can see, Dragapult really does a lot of damage. A Shadow Ball now will finish us off, and unfortunately for us, we're gonna fall to that Pokemon that has no Body Slam at all. That was crazy. Into the next battle now with the Medicham on the lead, followed up by this Basadon. Obviously Medicham was nerfed this season, but it is still kinda playable with Psycho Cut. I didn't see what this opponent is having on the fast attack, but we're gonna see in a while. Now with the Hydro Can we can easily finish off Basadon. Let's see how they want to respond, and no Shadow Victreebel at the back. This is still pretty huge for us, because we can go even crazier against that Sableye, because if they had the Victreebel, things could go easily sideways. At this point though, they have already farmed up a ton of energy, and we decide to make the call on the foul play, and they have back-to-back moves, which can only mean one thing: this Pokemon does not have return. And to my surprise, this is not a purified version of Sableye, so obviously this is gonna look like a very good one for us. And Dragapult now has access to Astonis and its Ghost typing, which we can easily wall down with those assets, the Medicham, and down they go to a simple Shadow Ball. Look at how easy it is for Dragapult to get there this season with Astonis. Into the next game now with a Gastrodon on the lead. Okay, we're just gonna switch out on our Feraligatr, and we meet up with an unfortunate situation against Ludicolo. This Pokemon can easily one-shot us down, but at this point we have dropped them kinda low, so that one Hydro Cannon might actually do the trick. I'm not sure if this is gonna knock out, because it is still kinda double resisted, and we're just gonna block in return because we can farm down completely with our Shadow Claws. So they return now to the battle with Gastrodon, and perhaps now we can stand victorious up against them with a couple of Hydros. I believe we can easily get a shield right here, and Mustas Golem could go for one extra Shadow Claw before going for the Hydro, but it is what it is, and we still managed to get that final shield out of play. Able to completely farm down here with our Dragapult. At the back, whatever they have now has to face the wrath of our Shadow Ball, and that was neutral damage connecting on Talonflame. Dragapult definitely a notable Pokemon to use in Great League, and a very off-meta one right now. Not everyone is having it, and of course you can always play better picks like Giratina Origin, but who has that Pokemon for Great League? I'm pointing on myself, but yeah, I'm not sure if you have it as well. Anyways, now into the next battle, and now we're just gonna keep going at it with our Swifts. So Clodsire here is gonna join the party and we can charge up more swifts in the process, but our switch timer is also back, so we can easily get now our hands on more of those hydro cannons, able to land one for massive damage, and our opponent now has access on the Stone Edge. We can charge up more than a hydro here, but unfortunately we cannot go for the complete farm down. That was kinda devastating, but still at the same time they're still shieldless, so our Feraligatr can go for more damage on their end. I guess we can let Feraligatr go down here, come into the battle with Dragapult, and they have another normal type at the back. This trainer has only one normal type, but before we saw more normal types, and this is kind of bad luck for our Dragapult. Unfortunately for them though, we still have Clefable, which can join the party for more swifts as they're trying to completely farm down. Can we escape these madness trainers, because we are getting farmed down completely? This Pokemon now has access to a few of Scorching Suns and we're getting kinda glassy, but we reach all the breaking swipe to unleash the full power of Dragapult on the opponent and grab the final victory with Astonis against that Pokemon, and that Pokemon is Malamar. Into the next game now with Dunsparce, and of course we can go for a little bit of extra action on that Pokemon, especially with our Moonblast. I really like Clefable this season, kind of a very safe pick, and if you run on Need Psychic, perhaps it can surprise you at how much better it can fight up against Clodsire, which is a top ranked Pokemon this season. So they switch out now on Chargeback, but this is how good Feraligatr can be. It can still provide so much pressure against the opponents with its Hydro Cannons, and this trainer decides to spend a shield on Chargeback, which is still kinda great for us. So now with Dragapult coming into the game, we switch out on our Clefable, trying to catch the move, but unfortunately for us they saw that from a mile away and down we go. Of course Dragapult can still return into the game, having access now on the breaking swipe to deliver the lethal blow or get that shield out of the game, and we can now have the upper hand over whatever lies at the back. Dunsparce returns, but hopefully we can go for the CMP and get our hands on the breaking swipe to finish them off. At the very end they have a Ferrothorn, so the battle is definitely not over yet. Let's see together how much damage we can do with a simple Shadow Ball. This is insane, and in the process we can block and still get on the complete farm down with our Astonises. I am astonished right now by Dragapult. Into the next game with a Dugong on the lead, we're just gonna keep going at it with the Moonblast, and I believe that we can draw a shield pretty early here, and now we switch out on Feraligatr. Unfortunately for us we get hit by a Drill Run, but hopefully we are not Shadow, so they definitely need more than 2 to finish us off, and this opponent is still staying in. So I guess we can kinda tank those moves, while at the same time we can go for more Hydro Cannons, and since we are not debuffed, this Hydro Cannon is still gonna hurt. Trying to snipe them down here with the Fairy Wind, I really like this play by Mustast Golem, but we get a little bit of outplayed because they still fire off a move. At this point we can go for a couple of swifts before we go down over Victory Bell, and we can drop it very low. This is very good for us now because our Dragon type can easily resist those magical leaves, while we can get a chance on finish them off with our Astonis. Our opponent though goes for one more magical leaf, which means that the Feraligatr goes down for some weird farm down, and in the process we managed to farm down Dugong as well. I believe that Mustast Golem here was expecting the switch out, but at the same time if we can block we can easily go ahead and reach on the Shadow Ball to guarantee the knockout over this Gastrodon with our Dragapult. This Pokemon Pokemon is pretty solid, pretty cool, and super entertaining for the meta of Great League. So into the final one now, trainers, and since we do not have Meteor Mass, this Ninetales might actually have a chance up against us. This is not the best lead that you can get if you run a non-Meteor Mass Clefable, and with that knowledge now we're just gonna switch out on our Feraligatr following their own switch to Tentacruel. So I guess that we can survive the Scald or the Acid Spray, and hopefully this is not a Sludge Wave or anything. So right here we'll just keep going at it with our next Hydro Cannon. We can drop that Tentacruel to a very low point so the opponent doesn't like this, and Mustast Golem here is just gonna go down to the Scald. This is absolutely fine. Dragapult now can join the party. This Pokemon is part Ghost, which means that we can resist the poison moves, and right after we can spam our Breaking Swipes for some solid damage. Look at how much we can do with a simple Breaking Swipe, while we can also go for the debuff on that poor Scrafty. Switching out now on our Clefable to try and catch the move, but the opponent still doesn't throw. Down they go to our Swift, and now we can easily go down to that Ninetales with our Clefable, because Dragapult can get its revenge against those fairy types with those Astonishes. That battle was astonishing as well, and if you feel astonished, feel free to leave a huge like before you go, subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you all into the next one.